That's very true. I think Volk gets this fight to the ground. I think if he gets him to the ground, Topuria's black belt's not going to matter much. Volk is going to put the pain on him. I just don't see Topuria as, he got a submission on Bryce Mitchell. He worked Bryce Mitchell quite a bit before that. I think on top, Topuria would do well against pretty much anybody, but on the bottom, I just don't feel it. I'd be really surprised if he could pull anything off from the bottom. I was rewatching Ortega's fight with Volk, and it's incredible. That was such a great fight, actually. Volk got out of a full triangle, full guillotine, a tight, I would say a snug anaconda choke attempt, and that full triangle choke, man. Listen, Brian Ortega, they call him T-City. Why? Because he's a triangle genius, and he was in a full triangle with arguably the best triangle guy probably in UFC. Will it go the distance? I don't think so. I think if we see classic Volk is going to finish it.
On the technical side, Topuria, technically, because Alex he's got holes in his game on the technical. So from that perspective, but from championship rounds, Alex all the way. Come on, how many championship rounds did he have? Had a 4-year reign where he was destroying everybody. The only fight that he really had close was the first one with what you call it, the Hawaiian, Max Holloway. The first fight. That's the only one that he really had where I thought he might have lost. That was the only one. After that, he's destroyed everybody in the feather that everybody's ever fought. He's destroyed. So he's on a tear, and his lone losses were to Islam both times, and they were at 155 though.
But he might just not, he might just not be ready to deal with Volkanovski over 25 minutes. Like, Volkanovski's not gonna give him the same kind of opportunities that Josh Emmett did, for example.
Yeah.
Like, Emmett's tough and durable, moves well, is conditioned, but takes damage like all the time. Is damaged often, he's injured and dealing with all kinds of things. Doesn't have the same kind of movement that Volkanovski does, the same kind of threats coming over the top and underneath. And I also think we might see Volkanovski wrestle Topuria as well. Because if Volkanovski gets in top position, he knows that Topuria is going to get stuck there. He has in lots of his fights. Even if he's been on the back and he's fallen off and lost the rear naked choke position, he stays on his back, starting to search for arm bars and stuff. And Volkanovski's sub-defense against Ortega, I think he would need to be concussed before submitting. I don't know. I'm thinking Volkanovski's going to do it. I think it'll be a tough fight, but I think he'll eventually get to Topuria and put that first loss on his record. Might be a rough couple of rounds, but I think Volkanovski's going to lean into his experience.
Let me think. I want to give you a different answer than I've given other people. Yeah, I think Topuria is going to beat him.
Really?
That's a different answer than I've given everyone else.
Excellent.
No worries.
Guys, it's hard to doubt a guy that has defended his title, that has gone up in weight division, has had close fights against the number 2 pound for pound. The biggest thing, who I'm going for? I am going for Ilia Topuria, but it's hard to go against the guy who was very well-rounded, who has fought that level of competition that Alexander Volkanovski has. There's one thing that I would say that would make me really comfortable to bet the house on a guy like Ilia Topuria, because I am going for him. If he can protect his leg kicks, and if he can bring back some of that Georgian wrestling into this fight, I could see Ilia Topuria not only just beating him, but actually dominating in this fight. But
actually, I think this one's going to turn into a striking matchup, and I think that favors both of them just fine. They're amazing strikers, okay? Now, I can't give a prediction because I'm commentating this weekend, and that would just be insulting. But I can say this. No man alive would predict Volkanovski to get finished in round 1, okay? Just because Islam did that was a head kick. It was on short notice. He was stepping up a weight class and taking on the pound for pound number 1, okay? No offense to Topuria. He ain't gonna do that, but he might win the fight.
So I think he will use a lot of grappling, a lot of clinching, trying to get Topuria tired, and Topuria will be rushing to get the knockout, in my opinion. And if he doesn't get the knockout on the first 2 rounds, the fight's going to the 3rd, the 4th, and then Volkanovski will excel. So that's a crazy fight. We could not ask for a better.
This is going to be different, man. Ilia is a beautiful fighter. I think his boxing is something that's magnificent to watch. I like the look that the Matador has been bringing to the game. Yeah, he's good for the sport, but you know who's great for the sport? Alexander Volkanovski.
Official pick?
Alexander the Great Volkanovski. I'm going to go late stoppage, round 4. Yeah, round 4.
KO submission?
KO or TKO. I think it's just going to exhaust him. It's different when you're in the championship rounds, but you have Alexander Volkanovski in your face. You can have your training partners, but no one's gonna simulate that in your face. You can have a fresh guy, but no one's gonna simulate that in your face and tenacity like Volk does. Because you're like, I've just punched this guy, or I've just missed every shot. Fuck, he keeps coming, and it drowns people. I've seen it happen live in fights and in training. So yeah, I think that's what he's gonna do. Ilia's only shot is early on, 1 or 2. After that, I see it just going downhill for him from there. But yo, that's my dog, and I'm sticking to him. Roll the dice.